See if the mic works now. Can anybody hear me? Hello? Testing 1, 2, 3. this is the game so far. It's not the most interesting game, but it's not too bad either. I mean, brutally honestly, I mean, first off, the music is too damn loud, especially over my voice. Let me see if I can actually fix that. That should work. Yeah, I think everybody can hear me, hopefully. Let's see if that works. Increase the gain on the microphone here and see what it does. That seemed to be working. That sound you hear in the background is actually my fan. I live in Florida. It is very, very hot and annoying in this damn state. So anyway, let's go back over here. The computer I was working on here. This is not like the worst game in the world, but it's actually not bad, especially if you don't have the money to, actually build a new computer. Like, let's be honest, my actual computer build, what I'm playing on now, is about a decade old. It was built in 2009. So, it has had some upgrades, memory, and even hard drives and everything else. But the desktop and even the actual CPU are first gen i7. And it still works and still does pretty decent. I have to thank a friend of mine who actually gave me a new video card about a year ago. Kind of really glad about that. But generally, this game's actually not too bad. I mean, not gonna lie. I wish my freaking build room looked like this. They even have a fire extinguisher. That's kind of odd. Holy crap, CDs. That's funny. Like, my question is, who the hell has CDs anymore? Ply labels. That's funny. A lot of cool things. Hey, to be... Oh, wow. Interesting. Plus Wi-Fi. That's funny. Like, I honestly wish my build room was this awesome. But it's not, sadly. Right now I'm just playing this game because I'm kind of bored, and I was testing out my microphone, which I have just recently bought. I was hoping to see how it works, and obviously it's working pretty good, especially since I've adjusted a few things. I'm not really good at this. I'm not like my friend Revolver, who is extremely good at doing like live streams, probably because he's got more experience than I do in doing it. But honestly, it's not too bad. But when you're done with the computer, you can actually put it in the closet, and it'll actually store your builds. Here, watch this. And now we access the garage, and we can actually scroll down to the bottom to the ones that are complete, like this one, which I completed today, just a few minutes ago. And it even gives you a list of all the parts you actually put into it. My general go-to is usually MSI stuff. I absolutely love MSI's products, so for me it's kind of like just my go-to, especially with just playing around like this. To be honest, it would probably be my build, especially with the Z370 Gaming Pro Carbon. I was looking at one of those on Amazon, and I was kind of like contemplating buying it, but honestly right now I'm so short in money, it's not even funny. Like I wish I could make more money right now, but I can't, so I make do with what I have and how I can do things. I'm actually definitely would love to actually continue with another Core i7 in my next build, to be honest. Kind of like this one. The actual case I have is a Cooler Master, but it's a very old Cooler Master. It's the Half-X, which, if I remember correctly, were kind of legendary. People actually really loved them. But they do have their drawbacks, especially when it comes to fans, trying to put fans inside. Unless you get the actual ones, it's made by Cooler Master, it's kind of a pain in the ass to match things up. But low jury rigging, you can do just about anything. So let's see what's a new case we can actually do. Let's see. Let's build an AMD machine this time. We've already done that case. That's the Hyper Beast. It's like boring as all hell. Let's do this case. And we're gonna build this one, and I'm actually gonna try to move over here. Screw you. Alright, we'll go over here and build it. By the way, they got some cool posters. I mean, that's actually a cool website. They've got a really good podcast too. But I wish they would actually allow you to decorate your room with different posters from different stuff. Personally, to me, that would be actually pretty big badass. Like maybe PC Gamer, even the CPU, and even games would be pretty sweet. But alright, so let's get down building this computer. This looks like this is a Corsair case, obviously. It's the crystal. So let's. Interestingly enough, they make it pretty intuitive and easy, and it's a great learning tool, to be honest. Doing this, especially with this game. If you've never built a computer before and you're playing this on a laptop, it's a great way to kind of learn the aspects of where your components are supposed to go and different steps and how you want to do it. Let's start with over here. So there we go. Just take these bolts out. I actually like the fact that they let you do the bolts like that. Oh, look at that. Let's go behind the case here and actually take the other case. Generally, when you're building a computer, and I'm assuming whoever's watching this has probably already built a computer. Like there has to be plenty of people who've built computers. It's not like it was like 10, 15 years ago where nobody's built a computer or nobody has any experience with using computers. I think everybody does now. It doesn't make you special anymore. Like if that's your only skill, then you've got serious problems. Oh wow, I got some nice Corsairs. Corsair actually makes some pretty decent fans and pretty decent memory too, so we'll use the Corsair memory that that you can get in here. I think it's a Dominator. Oh god, I'd love to have some of that in my next build. My next build hopefully will if I can get it together at 32 gig memory instead of the standard crapola that I've got at this particular moment in time. So let's take that off just for shits and giggles. Hopefully everybody can hear me out there on TV land. Anyway, like I was saying, building a PC or even operating like any type of OS isn't really a special skill like it was like in the 80s or even the 90s. Generally everybody knows how to use an operating system, and I'm going to save that for last. And I think I can actually put... No, can't do that there. That would have been cool though. Unlike some of them, if you actually can, you can actually put fans underneath the power supply. Nope, can't do it this time. Alright, so let's begin by doing the motherboard. The motherboard is usually the first thing you do. but we'll go for the X3. Should we do? Well, we did a gigabyte in the last one. No, we did EVGA in the last one. Never mind. So this time we'll go with my all-time favorite of MSI, but unfortunately we won't be doing a Intel build. We'll do an AMD build. I'm not really a big fan of AMD, even though you've got a lot of people who are like obsessive over just, oh man, AMD's the greatest ever. I personally think it's not really good that you only have really two manufacturers, major manufacturers for CPUs. Straight up. I think that we need more. That way the entire industry doesn't get stagnant like it did in the early in the early 2000s. I remember, what was it, 2009, when I was building this rig right here. Everybody went nuts and everybody was like, PC's dead, blah blah blah, long live game consoles, PC's dead. And then you had the resurgence a couple years later of indie games, kind of stuff like this, you know, that's very cheap but fun to play. And it is fun to play. Alright, so cool. What I like to do is like open up the little memory core thingy, or the memory. I don't want to do that. It's really tricky. I wish, oh, there we go. Shoot, I can. I was about to say, I wish I could zoom in, and you can. Damn. I say we go balls to the walls and put as much memory in this damn thing as possible. Not like it's gonna matter, because I don't think it could actually use, depending on the specs of the motherboard. I don't know if you can use every single one. The heart of the PC provided. Oh, that's pretty interesting. It actually shows little information about it. That's pretty cool. Again, this is a great learning tool for people who want to learn how to build a PC. I actually had help building mine when I first started building it. I can't remember his name, but he was a pretty cool guy. He's kind of really weird, but he was a really good dude. Sadly, because me and his brother didn't really get along. Oh, let's go 16 core. Hell yeah. It's not like, let's be honest, gaming doesn't really give a shit about cores. It gives a crap more about like actual processing units in the GPU. Like, you could have the greatest thing ever and it's just whatever. That's the one thing I've noticed. Let's open you up. Let's put you in. Let's close that up. And what's funny here, you're supposed to do this later on, but let's put that dot of thermal paste, because that is so needed. I don't even remember if I've ever forgotten to put thermal paste on a CPU. And I love how it says Cooler Master High Performance. That's great. Alright, so let's go down here. Oh, snap. You can only use certain ones. Interesting. On the Intel builds, you can actually use like other types. So this one is the only one. Interesting. So my build is gonna have to be really, oh yeah, like, wow, that is farking huge. Like, farking huge. Like, personally, the one thing I actually wish this game actually had was the ability to show liquid cooling. Like, Corsair makes a really great just standard CPU liquid cooling, but if they could allow it to where you could get intricate and do all kinds of crazy cool like liquid cooling, that'd be really, really sweet. Hopefully, if anybody is watching from the dev team, which I highly doubt, they would actually put that in, because to be honest, that would be neat, just letting you go crazy with the builds. So let's put the memory in now, and like I said, Corsair Dominators. Now, how do I want to do this? Do I want to do 4 gigs? And that would make, because in reality you don't really need a lot. And also, if you actually take a look here at your frequencies is important. It's important because the higher frequency, the faster the actual RAM it can operate. There you go, 32 gigs. And then you got 3600, 30, and then 4. Ha 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 ha. See, let's do it this way. Since we're going multiple here, that would be 8, that would be 16. Yeah, that'd be 32 gigs right there. And to be honest, 32 gigs is just enough. Like, especially for gaming. If you're building a fucking CAD machine, yeah, then totally go for as many gigs as you need. Or even a machine that you're using for, like, processing photos. You want more memory. It's because you want it to buffer in that, have enough memory to buffer and to operate the actual program. But gaming is a different story. You're set within a certain mathematical confine based on the program, so it's not like you're trying to process a billion things, and a lot of the work is done cooperatively between the CPU and the GPU. So let's see what's next. Let's see what we want to do. Well, let's put some memory in this damn thing. Memories. There. Alright, so here we go. Let's see here. Actually, let's put the power supply in. And I personally like a good modular power supply, and I don't care what anybody says. Go big or go home. The bigger the power supply, the better you are. It's also a good buffer. Even if you're only using like 800 watts, if something zaps that, it's got enough of a buffer to stop it from frying everything else on the board. I actually have had it happen to me that my modem, my onboard modem on the current board that I'm running, got zapped by lightning and it just went completely kaput. And I was like, what the man? So now I have to use wireless, which now wireless has come a long way from what it was many years ago, but still, it's just, I personally would rather have a wired network than a wireless. That's just me, though. Other people will disagree with me, and that's completely fine. I actually enjoy being disagreed with, because you always learn something from a disagreement about yourself and about the other person. So let's go back to cooling. Let's see if they've got the Corsair. Yeah, there it is. That beautiful Corsair. Let's put that one in. See, these things, when you turn them on, like, they're white, but when you turn them on, they actually kind of have this real cool glow. So that's why I always do the the RGB ones. I actually like the fact that there's more lighting in cases now, especially on the motherboards, than there were previously. So what's next? Let's do yeah, let's do graphics card now, and then we'll do memory afterwards. And my go-to graphics card is this one, and anytime. Here's another thing. I've actually tried to SLI a few of these things, and it won't let me. I'm like, really? Come on, man. It's like, I can't put 2 or 3 of these things in there. Come on. But, let me see, that's a 1060. Actually, right now I have a 1060, but I don't have that one. I have another brand, which is really, interesting. Yeah, maybe we can do the 1070 here. Do they have the 1080? 1080. There she is. 1080. Oh. That one's just straight beast mode right there. Wow, core frequency. But yeah, but the VRAM's higher. 11 gigs in the VRAM. So yeah, let's do this one just for it. Oh man. That's right. I gotta take these things out here. I'm a weirdo. Don't mind me. I'm like the weirdest human being you'll ever meet. So, let's go in here and let's do this one. I personally like MSI, but I actually have had EVGA. Like, my current motherboard is EVGA. And I've had it for like a long time. And I remember this guy, Joey Cappuccino, we used to call him, Oh, EVGA shit won't probably last 5 years. Yeah, I'm working on 10 with this thing, and it's starting to go now. It's starting to have issues, so it's definitely time to rebuild my PC. Let me see if I can EVGA. Let me see if I can SLI it. See, it won't let me. Like, I'm really hoping. I know this game is in Greenlight, so it's kind of in the testing phase. They're still doing stuff to it, and I would really would love it if you could actually do like 2 or 3 video cards. Even sound cards would be awesome too. Just like every aspect of the build that you could possibly do. So many different combinations, you know. Right now you're kind of limited, which I again I get. Hang on, I gotta go back to cooling because I completely forgot. One more fan. There we go. There she is. And then I got another fan over here that I gotta install because you always want that. So let's see here. Let's see. Yes, let's go back to and stick this one in. Alright, so far we've got all that. Now we just need memory. So, ooh. Hang on. Again, you can never have enough fans. And that's the truth. You could always have more fans. The cooler the case, the better the CPU will want to run. I mean, and most of the components too, they'll last longer. So now I have all kinds of crazy. Geez, I've got 6 fans in this thing. Alright, so let's do some storage. And here's another thing that I would love to see, if at all possible, would be Western Digital. I'm not a big fan of Seagate. I do not like Toshiba's pretty decent, especially since they bought out OCZ. I've never been a fan of Seagate. They generally fail. Like, I've got a Caviar Black that's in my machine right now. That's approximately 10 years old. It's the first hard drive I put in this damn thing, and it's still kicking. Oh, what the hell did I do? So let's go balls to the wall in this one. So let's hard drive base. Alright, so like I said, I'm going just a tad bit crazy. So we're going back into storage, and we're going to do 2 of these just because we can. It's like the ideal build, you know. Generally you use like an SSD for your operating system, and then 2 standard hard drives for storage, because SSDs work great. That's actually how my setup is. So let's see. That's basically all the stuff I want to do. And the power supply's already in. Yeah. Now the fun part. Double check everything. Memory, power supply, motherboard. Yep. Alright, so now let's USB drive. USB drive is actually your operating system. So now let's do cables. Oh, that's the wrong one. Alright, there we go. Where are you, bastards? There we go. So, again, it's like not a bad game. It's actually pretty interesting. And again, if you're poor like I am, it makes it fun to be able to build a PC. Oh, look at that. Everybody's gone. I had 2 watchers. Nobody leaves. Oh well. Such is life. Anyway, it makes it easier. Like, if you have no money to actually, and you want to build a PC, this is a pretty good way of doing it. Play this on the laptop. It's not too graphically intensive of a game. The music is okay. I'm not a big fan of it though. I might just turn some on now, just to make everybody happy. Hang on. That's if anybody is watching, which I doubt. Oh, Jesus. What the hell did I do? Oh, I backed out. Damn it. Well, luckily it saves your stuff automatically, which is pretty cool. So you're automatically saved. Let's go into here. Let's do some music. Alright, so hopefully you can hear my voice still over the ridiculously loud music. Mouse sensitivity. Yeah, whatever. Resume. Alright, so let's get back into this thing. So, everything's basically done. 2 cables. Oh. So, we're almost done with this build. We'll be done in a second. Come on. There we go. Alright. Now all I gotta do is actually put the whole thing back together, case-wise. So, let's do the grid first. Where the hell is the grid? Oh, there it goes. That's the first one. And I think this one goes up here. That's very cool. You can even hear the sound effects, which is pretty sweet. You don't need a PCI cover because that thing's gone. So let's do the front panel, which I'm kind of like digging this case here because it's very just modern. You know, this is like something somebody like wants to have a PC game and have a like stylish piece of furniture would actually have. So, let's get that in. Let's get that in. Let's get that in. And that. Alright. Now, let's do the side panel. Let's put that in. Again, I actually really like this case. I like the fact that you can actually see all the components, like, all the way around. So, including your hard drive. You might look for this case, shoot. Next beat. Oh, come on, Scotty. What the heck are you doing there, guy? There we go. Now, missing cable. What the fuck do you mean missing cables, you motherfucker? What fucking cable am I missing? I'm looking like an idiot right now. So let's go back through here. How the hell am I missing cables? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Alright, so incomplete case, so let's finish this off. And when I'm done with this, I'm getting off the computer for a little while. Maybe go have a snack. Watch some room. Alright, so once you're done with it, it'll say like no OS installed. Well, that's what this thing is over here. Oh, I did not want to do that. Okay, so where the hell is the power button on this thing? Anyway, powering it up. So this is what it looks like. all operating. There it is. And as you can tell over here, it's actually installing the OS. Now it says ready to boot. So you've done it. You've built a PC. Again, this is a pretty interesting game. It's great for people who want to learn how to build a machine. I just wish they would do more stuff to it and have more products, and hopefully in later builds they will. But so far it's pretty cool. Again, I really like this case. Hell, if I had the money, I'd actually build one like this. Anyway, thanks for joining my stream, even if it was for a little bit, messing up with the mic and everything. But again, feel free to subscribe, follow. I'll try and do something once a week, time permitting, especially since now I gotta find a second job just to survive. Yay! But again, thank you all who watched and who will watch this later on via video cast or whatever it is. Anyway, this has been Scotty, signing off.